Hey, 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 welcome everyone. And of course, on my birthday, I got the best birthday gift in the world. Jessie is first, as always, with her white Mickey Mouse ears. What's going on, Jess?
Hi, happy birthday. I recorded you a little video.
Oh, cool.
It's gonna be a little bit. Whoops.
Thank you so much for everything you do. We really, really appreciate it. Have an amazing day.
I love it. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so my question. So you know how I'm a big fan of like Abraham Hicks? But it's kind of like weird because like I don't know, like I'm like listening to them for like 5 years now, and I don't know if I like believe in like a God. Does that even make sense?
Of course it does. I think that so many people are on that same journey. And I think the key to it is kind of defining what that means to you. I think a lot of people that aren't sure, and for me, when I was your age, I had no idea. And as I kind of understood what my higher self was, what source meant to me, and how I wanted to define that in my life, then I went in and out of, understanding God, to the point where I would, almost lean to be more Christian than anything else, but yet I don't believe in dogmatic religions because I don't believe in anything that separates us. So remember when I talk about taking inventory of your values and not being afraid of being a hypocrite? I think your relationship with God, Source, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, Joseph Smith, whoever else you encounter along your journey is a perfect example of not being afraid of being a hypocrite, right? We're on this journey. There's so many variables involved with, such an idea that you have to be willing to understand that I don't know what I don't know. And I'm just going to enjoy the journey of learning about what I believe a greater or higher source, higher consciousness or not. For me, the reason I believe in God is that I've simplified things in my life to say, okay, I can believe in God or I can believe in no God. I'm better off believing in God. I can believe that this is the only life I have, or I can have more than one life. Okay, no one's going to be able to prove to me either way. So I'm going to go with the better choice and believe in the better choice. And that really helps me a lot. Just simplifying things that, look, I never going to know the truth. And so until I do know the truth, I'm going to go with the more positive, better choice, no matter what it is. And that's what I'm going to believe in. In other words, happy where I'm at, learning along the way, angling to what I want, but have faith that I'm going to end up somewhere better than that.
Okay, thanks. Oh. Are you there?
I think Dave got cut off. We'll be right back on. No worries.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
Hi.
My daughter was screaming, and I went to go mute her, and they put left studio.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess I just feel kind of like I was like, oh, I can't believe I've been listening to this stuff for 5 years. I don't even think I really know what it's talking about. Cause
I'll try reading the Course in Miracles. I don't know. I think it's a really good sign when you start realizing I don't know what I don't know. I think that's a really good sign. So that means that you actually know something. And so, all right. So keep on being a hypocrite.
All right. Thank you. Have a good
Thank you for the
birthday.
video. Thank you for the video. Very nice. Awesome. All right. Jesse's sister, Janine.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hope you're having a good day at New Year's every day.
Amazing day. It's also my lucky numbers. 1, 11, 21 are my 3 lucky numbers. So it could only be a great day.
You know what? Actually, this is not what I planned to. I do want to ask you my original question I planned to ask you, but this has been on my mind. I feel like you would understand. So last night I went to Chevron in Decula, Georgia to get some gas, and I did get some snacks too. And I had this feeling because they posted on the door the Powerball is 470 million. And I had this moment of like clarity that I really should have just gone with. And I dismissed it. And I'm just like, maybe there was like an energy waiting for me, but I had to hold and accept the fact that like if I'm not at the level to receive it, then I won't. Like that, I mean, and if my first thoughts are about like hiring private security for myself, I'm like, because it's different problems and I'm like not ready for those problems yet, I guess.
There you go. And that's just what that intuition or that, thought process took you to, is understanding that. And whether or not you would have won or didn't win, I'd love, you're like my wife. She only plays the lottery when it gets like to $500 million. And I'm like, I'm not really clear on why you do this, because your life will change the exact same amount, whether you have 90 million or 600 million, but statistically you have a better chance at 90 million. So if you really want to win, play it all the time. But once again, I love the fact that you're thinking beyond just winning. It's, do I want what will happen to me if I win? And I think that's a really healthy way to look at things.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I guess so. Well, I do want to ask you my original question, but I'll try to be concise. So as you know, things move quickly with my business endeavors. And so in short, I did agree to be on the CIBR team for Zoptics, which is the ed tech product. And actually, thanks to your help, we've made a lot of progress getting our proposal and getting some real support. So I've also started the Alumni Venture Fellows program, and I realized that's a unique opportunity as well, where I actually get to experience all the different aspects of venture capital, not just whatever a company needs for a job function. I mean, because it is free and unpaid, there is a lot of collaboration about like how I can contribute. I mean, they did mention that in some cases, if someone gets a job, that can be a conflict of interest with their fund. I mean, I don't know that that's always true, but in short, I've also had a mentor and some energy behind kind of replicating my business model for my ed tech company client and developing my own strategic alliances business. So I've been thinking about doing that while I participate in Alumni Venture Fellows, and then decide in a year if I want a job in venture capital. I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I love your thought process, except for I'll decide in 1 year. My philosophy is decide every day, right? To take inventory of your values every day and decide which angle am I going to take from where I'm at right now, and continue to have that faith that you're developing, which I can see as we've been working together, that you're going to end up somewhere better. But, I always say you limit yourself when you put in, everybody loves a year, especially maybe because it's January. Everybody likes to say, oh yeah, 1 year. Why? It's a man-made construct.
It is. I mean, that's how long the program lasts.
Yeah, but beyond, you should be evaluating that program and your decision throughout every day. And even though it takes an instant of a second, it can make a remarkable difference. And if you look at directional behavior, what subtle changes make, so, when, especially at the beginning, if you take things in a mathematical approach and you change something 0.1 degree, each day it changes 0.1 degree. By the time a year's over, you'll have developed and moved into a remarkable difference, a delta that's remarkable. And so to, hold yourself at a steady angle while you're, putting a year out, you may have lost all of that growth or all of that trajectory that you would have gained by making subtle angling corrections or modifications. But the only way that you can do that, I want to reiterate to everyone, is still you have to have faith you're going to end up somewhere better. People, they stifle themselves because they don't have faith. So they're going to take their inventory and they, oh no, I'll wait till the end. Oh no, I'll wait to see. No, you're not. No. Use your intuition, use your desire, use your capabilities, your skills, and your knowledge. Take subtle angles and adjustments and use that hypocrisy of saying, shoot, I didn't know what I didn't know yesterday. I'm going to, move a little bit today. And what it does is after 365 days, 1 degree every day, 365 degrees, you could have went all the way into a circle and been 5 degrees difference. Who knows? But I think people don't give themselves enough credit. They don't take inventory every day, and they limit themselves with a scarce vision of time and put it, 1 month, 1 year, 1 week on things. Don't do that. Inventory every day. Okay.
Yes, and I think that's how I've gotten here. And one thing that, like, as I mentioned, I want to start a fund. So this could be my opportunity to get attribution. So, I mean, if you think it's okay to directly tell them that I do plan to start a fund.
Oh, they'll be excited for you, and they'll probably
So exactly. So I think I can get more experience with getting attribution, which I think will matter the most when I'm asking investors for money.
No doubt. And people are sponsors and power sponsors of yours, not gatekeepers, especially people in those types of situations. So, and if they're not, it's better off to find earlier enough that they're scarce and not aligned with your values. So you can then move and find better people to do better business with.
That's a great way to put it. Well, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your birthday.
Oh, I will. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Christina, my dear, how are you?
Hi, happy birthday.
Thank you. It's so nice to see your smiling, glowing self.
Thank you, as you as well. And I have to tell you a wonderful story. It was 11:11 this morning, and right when I looked at my phone, and I was like 11:11, and I was like, oh, I love that number. I'm so happy Meltzer told me about that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's his birthday. Oh my gosh. And so I texted you.
Thank you,
So
Chris.
I love that connection. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, okay. Trying to think if I want to ask you my question or yeah, okay. So what do you think I should be asking you? What do I do? I don't know what I don't know, and I want to know.
I can only go with what I've learned the most of recently, and asking about forgiveness, I think, is essential to me. Like, I have been studying forgiveness, and the idea of certainty that comes from forgiveness is very, very powerful and very difficult to understand. I think, understanding time and forgiveness, when I was talking about the speed of thought moves faster than the speed of light, which means that I can actually manipulate time with my thoughts. But I think that there's an interference that's created if we don't have a forgiving soul. A forgiving soul is a humble soul. A forgiving soul brings certainty. In respect to that, can I forgive the unforgivable, of myself? With all the atrocities that are occurring over the last couple of weeks, and everybody's separating and creating judgments, conditions, and attacks upon one another for a variety of reasons. I've been really working on my humility of forgiveness, and can I forgive myself and to forgive the others and help them understand an open mind to create an appreciation for what we have, an appreciation for the similarities that we have, and even moreover, appreciation for the differences that have been created. And I think forgiveness, if more people talk about it, in both respects of forgiving yourself and forgiving others, and forgiving and pursuing to forgive the unforgivable. Imagine how certain your world would be if you could forgive the unforgivable. And yet people can't even forgive things that should be forgiven, basic needs, like stupid stuff, being late, or, saying something stupid, or people can't even forgive that, let alone the unforgivable. And so I've been on a great pursuit and a great enlightenment to reconcile my understanding of time and perception with forgiveness, to create great certainty in my life so I can provide stability and certainty to others.
That's beautiful. And I think that the first time you and I talked about forgiveness was very impactful for me. And I felt that in my soul, that there was a lot I needed to forgive myself for. And I've been practicing that. And it's unbelievable, the difference hearing you talking about it now and hearing it now and feeling it indifferently in my soul is just absolutely an incredible gift. So thank you for repeating that for me and just everything that you do. And I'm grateful for all the lessons learned. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. Happy birthday.
Thank you. See you tomorrow. Thank you. She's awesome. Hey, Joe, welcome.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you so much. How can I help you?
Oh, great. It's been a while, but I wanted to ask you about getting back to center. I know you've talked a little bit about that, and I do find myself getting away from center. Times a simple argument something that just brushes me the wrong way, and ruin my day if I don't get back to center. But what are some of the things I can practice doing, training myself to get back to center more quickly and just disregard the stuff that's just a bunch of noise?
Yeah, one thing to help me is I started a list, because what happens is I started finding that 80% of the time I got off of center because I had a need to be right, a need to be offended, a need to be worried. So those three things really encapsulated about 80% of me accelerating in the wrong direction, creating interferences, void shortages, obstacles, making my life far more difficult than they were, not getting what I wanted, but searching for what I didn't have or what was missing or what other people wanted. All those things were interrelated to just me knowing 80% of the time, God, you have a real bad need to be offended, right, and worried. And so
Yeah.
I think the first step is, get your big ball games out, realize, yeah, once in a while you have a need to be separate. Every once in a while you have maybe a need to be anxious, but within your personality and your history and your quantum nature, here's the big three. These are the ones, because the big three normally encompass at least 80% of the waste. And it really is the waste of time, energy, emotion, and money. And
Yeah.
so when I started realizing, okay, I list out these three things. Now, when these three things arrive, now comes the stop, drop, and roll, breathe. I used to always tell myself, because I wasn't really good at stopping, I wanted to fight it, overcome it, argue it, run away from it. And instead, my reaction started being breathe, because breathing allowed me to stop and allowed me to get back to center. But it was very difficult until I kind of narrowed down to just three things, because the truth is, especially when we're first starting out, there's so much of our ego-based consciousness that dictates where we're at and what we're doing, that you'll be stop, dropping, and rolling all day long. So if you just pick out the big three, you're going to make the most advancement into that, and then you could start adding number 4, number 5, and start getting down to like the finite ego-based emotions. And I had a conversation the other day. It was really funny. I was doing a coaching call, and I started talking about being offended by I was in my original coaching group. Mikey's in there, and I said something funny. I'm like, yeah, I have this need to be offended, and while I'm talking myself through it, I realized, gosh, I don't have a need to be offended. Like this right now, I processed the fact that I wasted all that time,
Yeah.
and yet I couldn't let it go. So pick your best three, identify them, and breathe.
All right. Thank you very much. It's getting better at it. I think it was on Saturday. I was going somewhere and I was thinking about work. Something was bothering me. I said, what am I doing this for? Why am I going to waste my weekend worrying about this? Just forget about it. I threw that thought away, got back in the center, had a great weekend. So let's get it.
Don't let it steal your joy. That's
all right, David. Thank you very much again. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Awesome. And my man Blaze, always doing things for other people. There he is.
Hi, David. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to tell you about a story. The first time I saw you was like 3 years or 4 years ago, and your frequency was so different from me. I was like, what is this guy talking about? And then like 3 years later, I meet you, and I'm like now on that frequency, and like now it's like one of the most wonderful things that's ever happened to me. I just want to say I'm very grateful for you, and happy birthday again.
Thank you so much. And I know your frequency is one of abundance and giving, and that's why we relate to each other so well. Just let me know how I can help you and be of service.
Thank you, David. So, I've always tried to be entrepreneurial, like in the past, and I've failed many times. And I decided to come here to America to like learn, find coaches, groups, and all those things to build myself. And I feel like I'm ready to start going in that direction now, but also in line with what I'm doing. So I'm thinking about starting a business for purpose called like Blind Love and Kindness. And the premise is that if love was blind and kind, nobody would be left out. And so it's basically, and also thinking about sustainability and all that's going on, like between businesses and people who are helping provide. So one of the things that we have as a problem is that people in the houseless community don't have like laundry and anything, and a pair of clean boxes can go a long way to help them like feel good, feel healthy, and all those things. But in the hygiene kit supplies is like one of the most expensive things, and boxes is also very expensive. So we can't like provide that much more frequently. So I thought about creating this business where we sell boxes, and any boxes that is bought some goes to like the houseless community. And I was just thinking about a business concept that revolves around that. And I wanted to know if you have any advice for me. I have like $1,000 to put into this, and like, what advice can you give to me? Do you know anybody who can help me with this concept to build it? And then in future, it's supposed to be like a whole like platform where like there is this kind of for purpose things. Like we have a group that is helping us make T-shirts and stuff, and we are going to be like, for every T-shirt that you buy, we are going to provide 20 burritos for this person, and that business also gets part of the sales to continue like thriving in that sense. So I'm like now in the sense of like supporting businesses that are for purpose, where we're able to provide to the community and the business is supposed to thrive. So that's just the question I wanted to ask. Like, what advice or who do you know that can help me start something like that? And with $1,000, what can I do feasibly?
Yeah, I think being more interested than interesting in finding people that already do that for money will allow you to create some sort of business development arrangement where they can provide for free what they're getting paid to do, and incorporate maybe a discount to you as well, where you do get funding and you're able to, purchase those boxes. So I would go and do some due diligence and say, is it just my local Lowe's or Home Depot or UPS store, and put together a detailed plan of, hey, this is what I need. What opportunity do we have together to help one another, either with free boxes, discounted boxes, advertising, or illuminating what I'm doing in order to effectuate the aggregation and acceleration that you're looking to have. But I think the first step is to find those people that are doing that and getting paid to do that, and seeing how they can help you.
Okay. And do you by chance have any idea of anybody in that space?
I'm sure I do. If you email me, I'll look within my database and find some introductions for you.
That will help. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you.
All right. Enjoy your birthday.
I will. The luck of the Buckeyes. The luck of the Buck. All right. My man Todd, how are you?
Buddy, happy birthday.
You look like you're on the Enterprise being beamed up with purple light. See you later, Scotty.
How's it going?
Awesome. Best birthday ever.
Right on. Hey, you're 33 years old today,
hey? Whatever it is, right?
Good, buddy. Okay, my question of today involves ethical dilemmas or conundrums. The prototype I'm working on, the only factory perhaps in the world that might be able to produce it is in China. And I'm not exactly stoked on their human rights record of the past. So I don't even know if I want to walk that road. Any advice there?
Well, that's within the context of taking inventory of your values, right? Are your personal experiential values overcoming the receiving and giving values that you have? So I think we wear ourselves out sometimes with these morality dilemmas. And in the end, we just have to make a value justification of what we're doing. And it could be a greater good valuation. It could be, a certain weighting of balance of what and I love to use math and quantified values in order to effectuate. So I look and say, okay, it's not a perfect world. I could pick and choose a variety of different things that I believe in, from papers to plastics to, child labor laws to whatever it may be. But within the context of this, here's the pros of getting this manufactured in China. Here's the cons. According to my values today, I'm not going to do it. Or, you know what? Because it provides such a benefit to so many other people, I'm going to discount it. So remember, morality there is no morality in the subconscious. So there must be not, a judgment or condition. We give meaning to everything we see, but we live at the pragmatic conscious world, and we have to be able to go ahead and balance our values and make a decision and feel good about it. Either way, I could pick apart, especially with my law degree and my practice, I could pick apart anyone for being a hypocrite. One of my favorite, Jeff Fenster, I've been mentoring forever with Everbowl, and he talks about the sustainability of, Everbowl, the acai bowl, and all the different things they do for sustainability. And then in his packaging, he has a big plastic top to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, all you do is preach sustainability and you have a plastic top on your acai bowls. Yeah, well, that's only because of marketing. So, because if people don't see the product, then we won't sell it. And so, in the end, he made a value justification of, all right, well, I'm gonna have a little bit of plastic so I can actually sell stuff, so I can actually make, he sells acai beads and he does a lot of good things with it. But that's one of the discounted values or hypocrisies of his business. So you need to create your own hypocrisy.
Okay, I guess you kind of nail it with those two words, which are value. Sorry, what did you say? Value justification.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And just another one. I'm in the process. I'm getting very close to being able to submit my book to a publisher. Do you have any contacts in the nonfiction sort of travel-based publishing houses?
I do better though. I have a publishing consultant that has worked within the context of 300 and some books, bestsellers, New York Times bestsellers. He's my publishing consultant, and that can guide you and make introductions and give you good advice on what to do.
Cool. Do you mind if I send you an email about that?
Yeah, write down his name right now. It's Cliff Carl, and
Yeah.
so email me. Hey, can you make an introduction to Cliff Carl for me?
Awesome. Okay, thanks, David, and have a great rest of your birthday, buddy.
I will. Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, I got your favorite band here with my brand on it.
Oh, that is awesome.
Eh?
That is awesome. That's definitely, man. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, take care, buddy.
Right on. Yeah, someone sent me this today out of nowhere. I don't know if you can see this. Signed Tony Gwynn, first hit on July 19th. Tony Gwynn signed first hit from the Hall of Fame, and he's number 19, so it was no accident. Anyway, I digress. Mr. Sharif on the line.
Hey, Dave, how's it going? Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, my friend. I love your energy. What's up?
Thanks. We're so grateful for you, Dave. Everything you're doing is incredible. I literally feel like this is a miracle just talking to you every day. The fact that you have this group open is so amazing. If everyone understood that, the power that you have within it, it's so awesome. So I talked to Colleen, and on Friday, I think we're going to have a little 5 to 10 minute little showdown. And then I'm part of Bob's masterclass every day. I swear to God, Dave, January 1st, 2021, I'm literally living a miracle every day. I can't even believe it. That phone call with Robert Pascuzzi changed my life. So now I'm really on track. Like the first time I called you, I was in a different energy. But in about 2 weeks, I've manifested, I think, our first round for angel investment for Connects, and I'm going to be flying there. So on Friday, I want to just like demo you a 5-minute thing, but I think I might need a little bit of help with like the cap table structure just to make sure when I go into this meeting, I can actually secure the funds. So I guess on Friday, I could have a private discussion with you, but that's kind of what I need help with.
I'm happy to help you, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave, and happy birthday. You're the best. We all love you.
Oh, I love you. Thank you. That's very kind. Awesome. Cool. Best birthday ever, and this is making it even better. And now I have my dearest Kathleen. How are you?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. So, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I would love to be able to do that to someone.
Well, it's like, okay, I need to do, I'll just sing. Why the heck not? So, I have implemented stop on multiple occasions and situations, and wow, that's really helpful. It cuts to the chase. My question to you is, I'd love to learn more about when you lost everything, in terms of like from a real practical standpoint. Like, did you pull back from a lot of the business stuff that you were doing? Did you seek out or come across spiritual teachings and dedicate time to that? Put more time into family? Just kind of like the nuts and bolts of how you navigated that period and what that, I mean, we're always evolving, right? But the meat of that transitional period, what length of time was that for you?
So about 3 years. 2 years into it, I actually had to file bankruptcy. But I started with that moment where my wife told me she was going to leave me and take stock in who I was. So once I started a practice of taking stock in who I was, looking within, I started attracting different things to my life, not all the things that were spiraling me. Now, I created with, so much wealth, a whole bunch of causes, as I call them, in order to teach me the lessons that I needed to learn. So pre-bankruptcy, it was a journey of learning about myself and learning about what I could attract, how you attract, and all the people around me were changing. My wife had me fire people from my life. I called several of my friends and told them, I don't like who I am when I'm with you. This isn't about you, but I'm not going to be able to spend any time with you anymore. And some of those friends were from elementary school. And I progressed to start attracting the right people and the right ideas. Post bankruptcy, I continued on the spiritual journey, continued voraciously, the people from The Secret and Hicks and, all these things I was reading. But financially, things changed when I lost everything. I cleared away everything, and I got down to the basics that, look, I'm a business person who understands value. I'm going to utilize everything I've learned and all the people around me in order to buy low and sell high. I'm going to broker deals. I'm going to ask everyone I know that has great wealth, what can I do for you? And I'm going to make money. And even though I was running the most notable sports agency in the world and had a fair salary, it wasn't the kind of money that I knew I could make and had made in the past, and was the reason that Lee Steinberg hired me, because of my financial success. So I went, hardcore on, I can figure this out. And I started, looking and seeking advice on how to buy low and sell high. And I recovered very quickly financially. And I continued, the saying was, at the time I told my wife, she said, what are you doing? You have this extraordinary job. Why are you messing around with buying and selling and brokering stuff? I said, because the legs feed the lion. And I want that power. I want to feed myself so I can feed other people. And I have a great skill at doing so. And this other side of what I'm doing, it pays okay, but it's not going to get me there. And so, I think that was, to me, how I saw things. I think the other last shift in the paradigm occurred after I lost everything into, I really came to the realization that I lived in the world of just enough. And until my wife told me to give away my money and give away myself, I didn't understand, the world of more than enough. And through my mom's reaction for me losing her house and having to move out of her house, and my wife pressing me to have faith, both of those changed my paradigm of receiving. I always gave I gave to receive something. Acknowledgement, recognition. I was trading everything in my life. I was negotiating everything in my life. And this is what my training is about on Friday. I learned to be unconditional and practice unconditionality, like my mom, who had never received anything, $17,000 a year to work 2 jobs so her 6 kids could eat. She didn't know how to receive, but I knew how to receive. But I wasn't going to feel guilty about it anymore. I wasn't going to feel not worthy of it. I was going to live through me, give my life away. And that was the major shift energetically, that I now could ask people for things, knowing that if I got them, that it would go to such good causes. It wasn't going to Ferraris and Porsches. It was going to schools and to people for food and my children to empower them or whatever. But it was all given away through me for others.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
You got it.
Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we will see you soon.
You got it, my friend. Thank you for coming on. And that's a great
Take care.
question. Thank you.
Thank you. Take
All
care.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All the way from the other side of the world, my dearest friend, Gigi, how are you?
Hi, good. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How are you? I want to share some great news because the lily pond analogy?
Yeah.
I think so well. So I started putting content out, I think 9 months ago, and things were going well, but not great. And then this app comes along, Clubhouse, and you can only get with an invite. And I had someone 6 months ago hosting a meditation group. I didn't talk to them. They invited me. Like, I didn't talk to them in all of this. I join in and I start talking to all of these people. Then everybody goes on my Instagram because I'm talking about mindset, and they check out my content that I started a year ago. And I'm like, wow, he was right. And also, like, tomorrow I'm going to be on a podcast and have a conversation with someone who does networking events for a speaking gig. Just by showing up, just by putting in the work, just by talking and providing value.
Yep.
And I have a very important question that it shouldn't be asked by now. I'm very passionate about human nature, so I learned a lot about it. and also I can leverage to manipulate people. Like, you know, about the quantum nature. When I'm in this position, how do I put my ego aside and not do that? Like, I'm focusing on, you know, like what's happening now, just enjoying it, and I want to be true to my core.
Yeah. So it's funny because you can take in the political realm what's going on. You could be, you know, a manipulator for good. And now we're in the context of what Todd was talking about, you know, where do your values sit? So if you feel that you can use that skill set to entice or stimulate interest of somebody that may feel manipulative, but the outcomes are for a positive outcome, that may be okay according to your values. But if it's not, then you have to, you know, work on stopping, dropping, and rolling when you feel yourself, leveraging human nature. I believe for me, I leverage it all the time. I'm a student of human nature. I study history, and so I know my wife would probably kill me if I said this, but like I'd be okay being a Donald Trump for good, you know, because I think he knows how to work within the context of human nature to make people believe something or not. Whether you believe it or not doesn't bother me. That's your gig. But I'd like to be able to use that skill set for good. And I think that's okay. Where I also agree with people that said, well, you know, that's not good. You know, I know the outcomes are good, but you shouldn't do that to people because you know they're insecure, or you know they have a need to be right, or you know they're scarce, and you're playing to those emotions in order to do good. I'm not okay with that. Well, that's your gig, and I can understand that, but I am okay with it as long as it's for good.
So always asking myself if I'm doing to get a result or if I'm doing to serve the person.
Yeah, and as a result, you know, the problem with saying, you know, is what my wife argues with me is just because I think something's good doesn't mean it's good. And so I say, fair enough. I'm trying to do my best then.
And also speaking of being an ambassador, because I was like, I'm just sharing the content, but now people are like, oh, you're in David's program. They're like, yeah, and how is it? And I'm like, you get so much value. Because I want to help you more. And I'm like, yeah, like people know, like and also I ask you, the Instagram is about leveraging human behavior because people are talking about you in all of the rooms. Because of course I'll go in those type of conversations. Wow, like they gave the example with the pimple lady, I don't know, like, and just trust the process and the vibration. And I'm like, this is very powerful without me knowing. Like I didn't come in this program with the result. Like, everything started as a passion. That because I love it so much, I want to start a business. But also, it's like your biggest lesson was just putting things for the results. So that's why I'm asking. I think you're the perfect person because there are not a lot of people like you in this space. To be honest, everybody is doing it to gain more, gain more, gain more. And that's the reality. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna talk to David. But yeah, things are going pretty well. I don't know what the outcome is gonna be, but it's an interesting.
It'll be better. The outcome will be better than it is right now, and just keep allowing it to happen. And you're gonna do everything you can to make it happen, but you're gonna allow something better to happen. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much, and happy birthday. Have a great day, and thank you for doing this on your birthday. Like your
of course. This is the best birthday. So please, thank you guys for showing up. This is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, my main man right there, Elliot.
ET. Yo, Dave. So the truth is, I don't have a question today. I literally waited this whole time just to tell you happy birthday and I love you.
Wow.
That's it, bro. That's
Dude,
really it. You
that's
are
a great
amazing. You inspire me. And I was just thinking today, as I was hauling ass in the car to get on this call, I remember one time I saw one of your videos, you said, I think you told Gary Vee or somebody, you're going to be the most popular 70-year-old.
Yeah.
Bro, like hands down you are. So love you, bro. And God bless you, man.
Thank you, my man.
God bless
you. We'll get it that way. Elliot, that's the best birthday. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate you.
Love you, man. Bye.
I used to tell my wife I would speak, and there would be people wait hour and a half in line to get signed books. And invariably there's someone at the end of the line. I'm like, "Hey, would you like a book?" No, I already got your book. I'm like, what can I do for you? I just stopped. I waited. I wanted to say thank you. I'd start crying. I almost started crying when LA told me that. I can't believe I was like, people got things to do. So I appreciate that, Elliot. Thank you. All right. My man.
Hey, my man. All right. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Even though the Ohio State Buckeyes put it on my Clemson Tigers.
Sorry about that.
I was thinking to you, and today's your birthday, and today's my wife and I's 7th anniversary.
Hey.
And yesterday was our daughter's 11th month birthday. So she'll be a year next month.
Good
So,
numbers,
man, these stars are aligned like the planets were like a couple weeks ago. It's just everything's lining up. Big shout out to the VA group.
Yeah.
Man, we're going to be crushing it. And yeah, just wanted to hop on here and also say happy birthday and thank you for everything. And then as Dash City Esports is growing, just like in my pitches, is what's fueling it is the marketing agency side of things. I got an opportunity to partner with a small agency, content marketing agency in town here in Winston-Salem. They're a shop of like 1.5 guys, and they want me on board. And I was going to ask, like, it doesn't sound like joining them, like equities on an option right now. But since it's such a small shop, we're going to be working on commission and everything. How would you take on like a partnership that's equities not option, but like a full commission? Like, how much would you ask for? And I think I've got it near. Basically, I'm going to be performing chief revenue officer duties. And I think I've narrowed it down to like a gross commission or gross margin commission structure.
Yeah.
And I know you're probably going to say, ask whatever you're comfortable for, but I don't know, maybe you would say something different.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously what I do is always, and this is a good lesson for everyone, reverse engineer the value, right? So are you going to ask for something that, is less than the value that you're going to provide? And whatever percentage you're fine with, for me, I try to use kind of a 20-100 rule, as trading $100 bills for $20 bills. So I want to be paid 20%. So if you can kind of reverse engineer a percentage that's good for you and say, look, on a gross revenue, this is what they're making.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that, in bonuses and stuff. I'll tell, Mikey's sitting right there. I'm like, look, if I have gross revenue and here's overhead, et cetera, after this, then I want to make, Dave Meltzer wants to make this percentage.
Yeah.
And this percentage should go to Mikey, whether he calls it salary, bonus, or commission. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Right. It's just math to me. And he deserves a certain percentage of what is the total. And you got to figure that out. I would try to figure out some incentivized equity program that's a vesting, 4-year vesting of equity. They may not be able to do it right now, but you should get 10% vesting in year 1, 30% in year 2, 30% in year 3, 30% in year 4. Do a 4-year vesting plan, which mitigates their risk that you're just going to take their equity and leave.
Yeah.
And then have also some sort of exit accelerator. If, guys end up selling the company in 2 years, then you should invest 100% at that time. But just reverse engineer what you think is fair off of the profits. And if you don't know, then ask them. In order to ask for what I want to know how the money's made and what percentage, like where and how much is going to be made, so I can, figure out what percentage should be mine.
Yeah, that's and we're being like, it's such an incredible couple dudes, and they're like being super transparent, which is great. And I also, in our conversation, I'm like, hey, this may be a shock, but I'm going to tell you everything I'm thinking and put all the cards on the table, because we want to be doing this thing like, almost like a marriage, man. Like if I'm holding anything back and making these back end deals, like that's not going to be cool. And
Right.
so, so far it's been pretty amazing. We've been jamming for like a year and a half, and now we finally have this opportunity to like move in get an office space, and like, it's just building like I never would have thought. It's just crazy. So thank you for everything. And everybody that's watching, just try to get as close to David as you can. What a gravitational pull, man. This is just so. Anyway, happy birthday. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. Best birthday ever. Thank you, Jeff. And now I have my delightful Gemma in her bathrobe ready to go. What's up?
Happy birthday and go Bucks. Hope they win.
All right.
Thank you.
Me too.
I just wanted to ask, like, when do you know that it's time to quit your day job?
When you could afford to. So if
like
when you could afford to, and afford to is
1
not only, huh?
like 1 year of the cost of like my business, 1 year of savings.
Depends on what you want to invest in yourself. Like, I've had friends that quit their job and live in a car. So according to the style or quality of life that you want to live, then take that amount of money, and when you have it and are able to secure that by doing what you're doing full time, then make the jump. Some people, it's food stamps. Some people, it's a year's savings, but that's all up to you. But you should be thinking about what investment am I willing to make in myself to make that jump, and then when you get there, do it.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Great question.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, the deepest of the deep, my man Brian, what's going on?
I'm good, man. Happy birthday, by the way, brother.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank you personally. I do have a question, just so you know, but I wanted to thank you personally because you it's kind of hard for me to say, man, but you touched my heart, man. It really meant so much that it didn't matter how much money I had, that you really saw me for who I was. God bless your soul, man. So I really appreciate that so much, that you believed in me, that you see that in me. Oh, thank you so much. So my question is also deep as well. It's about this idea that I'm always speaking above people's heads. I taught my first grade class evolution, so it's not anything that I'm not used to. But something that's been coming up a lot is loneliness, right? And you speak about this, especially as you're going through the last mile, right? So Bob Proctor talks about the terror barrier, the loneliest mile, or Arnold Schwarzenegger says the pain period. Okay, so I'm okay with being out of place, but it seems like what David Hawkins and Lester Levinson says is that as you let go more, the more you release, more of what is been put inside you is trying to release. It's like a pimple, right? So the more you squeeze, the more it comes out. And segueing from you believing in me, it's this idea that pride has been the one thing that's been coming up again, right? With the loneliness. So I know that loneliness is a lack of self-love, okay? And I know that pride has been the ego's way to embed some form of confidence within myself. So as I bought the Sew Right tool for my psoas muscle, and I didn't know how much lust, desire, anger, and pride has been up there. So a lot of things have been manifesting in such a way that I'm being triggered, right? And it's like pulling my consciousness from the seat of awareness that I'm usually at. So I know that every moment is designed for the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know? Because this is the moment that we're having right now. So my question is, I feel like I'm distancing myself once again, but like at a higher degree than I ever been, where like even the people that have supported me, they don't know how to relate to me, right? They feel like I'm just doing some crazy go in a cave kind of thing at this point in my life. So I know that what is showing up is that I must want freedom more than I want anything else, and perturbability, to be undisturbed in any way or form. So, and I know that this idea of humble confidence is something that I struggle with because of my attachments, right? Because I know that it's not by my endeavors that I'm aware of this much. It's by the grace of God. Okay. And I want to know about the consistent, persistent pursuit of my full potential. How did you do that specifically as you hit rock bottom? And then the humility that came behind that, because you had this video where your mother, she was just like very forthcoming about helping you out, and that unconditional love. I want to be able to do that for myself, right? Because I know I have people like you behind me, but I have to be able to do it for myself, man. It's the only way that I can actually do this. So that's my question. I want to know, how did you deal with the loneliness, and how are you dealing with the pride? How do you become humbly confident?
By giving it away. So the interesting paradigm shift is that by my mom liberating my light, by showing me the unconditional love, she showed me the three things I tell my children and the three things I tell you, Brian, right? I love you, I'm proud of you, and I always have your back, right? So I realized that I didn't love myself. I truly wasn't humble or proud, because humility is being proud of yourself, right? When you're truly proud of yourself, you're completely humble in a non-judgment or conditional space. And then finally, that I had my own back, right? Because I could give it all away to somebody else. And my mom lived in that space. My wife lived in that space. And I lived in fear and scarcity and for me and to me, and all those things. And so everything that you are drumming up in your frequency, and some people are going to fall away, right? You're going to be called a freak and laughed at and scoffed at and made fun of, but doesn't matter. There's always a frequency that's not going to understand you. But in the end, give away your how proud you are to other people. Give away your love to other people. When you're able to do that unconditionally, then you know you love. You can't give what you don't have. So if you can love unconditionally, then you unconditionally love yourself. If you're proud of other people, then you're humble yourself. Right? When you want more for other people than you want for yourself. Right? That's pride, but that's humility. When you actually want more for other people than you want for yourself. And then, of course, when I say I have my back, it's just that I'm worthy, right? I'm worthy of everything, and I'm going to make other people feel worthy. And so start giving that away to other people, and you'll start attracting more people who are aligned with your frequency. You'll start feeling alignment within your own self. And when you get aligned, that separation that's not there right now, which causes loneliness is separation within itself. So when you get alignment within yourself, you'll feel whole, you'll feel connected. And when you're connected, when things are coming through you for others, you can't feel alone ever. You'll never feel alone.
Thank you so much, man. You have no idea.
God, don't make me cry on my birthday. Take care.
I'm sorry, man. I really appreciate this. You have no idea.
I love you. I'm proud of you, and I got your back.
Thank you, man.
You got
Likewise, my friend. Thank
you.
you.
Take care. Thanks. Great call. All right, my dearest, the movie star, Bonnie.
Movie star. I had to close the door real quick. Jameson just got out of the shower. He said happy birthday.
Yeah. That's why
Happy
I put the green
birthday.
screen up. I got naked people walking by all the time. I'm in my closet.
I have to be careful. I'm constantly shutting my camera off anytime I'm on anything because my 4-year-old won't wear pants. He wears underpants but won't wear pants.
I get it.
I'm like, you can't be on. I'm gonna get in trouble. Like, I don't care. He's
I
covered.
have the
other
same
people
problem
do.
with office with Mikey. So it's a lot more dangerous. Anyway, what do you got for me?
So I was just gonna say happy birthday, but I was listening to everybody else, and it made me realize a couple of things. One, I've been Antra, Michael Mara.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I met Michael when he was just starting Antra, and I'm on. Are you dressed? Okay. When he was.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Good to
Oh,
see you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. It means so much to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So I was invited to Entra's, the app, like really early, and I've been on there, but I was terrified to network because I always have half naked children running around and everything else, and I never have time to talk. So with COVID, I'm actually thankful for the fact that everybody's kind of used to having kids running around and background noise. So I got the courage to get on the networking, a couple of the networking sessions, Zooms, breakouts, whatever you want to call them. So 8 months or in August, when I first had the idea about the upcycling, I was on one and I was terrified, but I told them what I was doing. And there was a guy on there who, he's an angel investor. And that was the first time I'd really heard that term and trying to figure out what it was. He kind of was like, oh, that's a cool idea. And then kind of brushed me off. And I was like, all right, whatever. I was on there last week and his same guy was in there and I started telling him and I mentioned competing on the show and all of a sudden everybody's like ears perk up and they're like, oh, now they're really interested, right? So he immediately contacted me on LinkedIn, him and another guy who does venture capitalist. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know what any of this shit means and I need to learn. Like I have an idea, like, cause it's angel and money and, you know, but not really. And I have a freaking accounting degree and nothing you and Jefferson just talked about did I ever learn in school. So is your sales group a good place to start or are there books or I need at least to have a basic working understanding and knowledge of this stuff so I can talk to these people and know what they're saying to me.
Yeah, so I would find, the sales group would be great because we can mentor you there. But I also, look and find, some accelerators, Launchpad. You write these down real quick. If you Google accelerator programs or launch pads, they give great free basic courses and help to companies like yours, especially as a female entrepreneur. There's a bunch of programs that help facilitate you and handhold you through, growing, funding, scaling as well. But of course, we'd love to have you in the sales group. But I think if you Google Launchpad and Accelerator, then come back to me and say, Dave, here's the ones I found in my area. Can you make an introduction or can I use you as a reference? We'll go forward from there. Okay.
Okay, that's great. I think just even the terminology, I want to know.
Yeah. It's just bullshit language, but yeah, you'll figure it out. I didn't know.
Okay.
I graduated law school business. I didn't know any of it either. So once I learned the language and it got help, it was easy and it'll be easy for you as well.
Okay. All right. I thank you so much. Have a wonderful birthday.
Thank you.
See you soon.
See you soon. What a great birthday. All right. My dear Joanna, how are you?
I am great and happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I read a great press release on the move and what you're doing. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So I have several questions for you. But the first question I want to ask you is I talked to Jake and he said that the mini tread is unpacked and under your desk. Have you tried it?
Oh yeah, I did it today too. I think Colleen wants it though, so she keeps on trying to steal it. I got an alarm clock that was cool. That I don't use an alarm, so it's like this. So now she's trying to get my on the move, but I haven't given that up yet. The only person I'll give it up for is my mom, and so I was thinking about bringing it down to San Diego for her because I really liked it. But I'm pretty active. So yes.
Yeah, I would love it if your mom would try it, and I'd love for you to video her on it.
Well, I have to have my brother video because they quarantine. I can only see her from the driveway, so I have to leave it on the thing. But I'm gonna bring it down to her, and I'll have my brother take a video.
Yeah, we have a lot of older, like 90-year-olds who just love it. So
it's still made for my mom. She's not very mobile, and it takes her a long time to walk, and it'd be something she could do a lot more than going outside. So I know she would love it. And not that I don't love it, but I still can run and do other things.
Sure. No, pay it forward.
Yeah. So thank you.
I'd love for her to have it. Okay. Second, I watched the 2-minute drill on Friday night. That was fantastic. And my husband, who's also runs a startup, watched it with me, and I was like, this is so much better than a Shark Tank, because the people who are watching it are learning it. I posted it on Founders Network with like 600 founders and said, y'all have to watch this. But it was excellent. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. It's going to get better. We appreciate it. Yeah, I'm excited because season 1 of Elevator Pitch was really good, and I know how much it improves from the first episode to the 12th, let alone season 2. So we really appreciate it. It does convey what I wanted, which was forget the funding facade. that people go into. Let's
Right.
just give prizes and cash to people for pitching well and teach people how to pitch. And I thought the advice from all the judges were really, because I'm in it, I don't really remember anything. So watching it, I'm like recreating in my mind what I would say or what they should say, and
Yeah.
they nail it. Like, yeah, that's exactly where the problem is, or this is where we can help this person.
And they
Thank you.
totally nailed it. They did great. So here's and I have two other questions. One is, speaking of your mom and older people, can you think about who within the physical therapy community might be a good introduction for me? Because I'm looking for partners in physical therapy. So people who own a lot of physical therapy.
I have a coaching client. I do some one-on-one business advisories, and I have a coaching client that they sell into and he knows the whole network of all of those people. So I'll introduce you into that. He does, I forget the name of it for real estate, where they buy the house from the person so they can quickly move into a home. So they have relationships. The homes are the ones that refer them. So they have all the relationships with, 55 and over type of
Excellent.
community.
Great.
Okay.
That'd be great. All right. Now for my serious question.
Okay.
You were talking a lot about forgiveness before. And what I find is when I'm working on forgiveness, I put that level of detachment in front of me so that I am not attached to the outcome, but sometimes to a degree where I detach so much because I'm working on the forgiveness that it will it puts a big block in the relationship. And I was wondering if you could talk about that a little.
That blend is talked about. Excuse me one second. Yeah, that blend's very difficult because it goes within persistence and allowance. It really is a blend, and so I love thinking about things as blending instead of either or. And so we want to blend our emotions into the relationship and let the forgiveness itself vary, determined upon how I'm feeling. So at times I'm a realist and I'm not going to forgive it, and I'm just going to use the ferocious part of the ferocious Buddha. And then other times I'm very Buddhist and I could forgive the unforgivable. And so I think what I call being above my own game and acknowledging, what, I can't do it right now. I'm just going to be a ball busting mother effer and get this done. And at other times I'm not. The thing is, when I'm in that ego based side of it, I tell myself, really get out of it quickly if I can, but I'm gonna follow through in it. And so I blend it and I'll get more of a blend towards peace and forgiveness and kindness. But I'm living in reality, and I got to do what I have to do sometimes. And I think just the acknowledgement would be my best piece of advice for now. Just start acknowledging how long. I love the term minutes and moments. Give me a minute or a moment to be pissed. Give me a minute or a moment to be offended. Give me a minute or a moment to be an asshole. That's who I'm okay with it, because I have an ego and I can't just hold it all in either. So I consider it a blend, and that's helped me a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll get you a new video. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Awesome. All right. My man, Max, waiting there patiently.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, David? Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
You got it. My pleasure. So I just had two questions, but just a quick update. So this Thursday, my first paid speaking engagement's taking place. So I'm really stoked about that. It's going to go awesome. I spoke with them today. Stoked about it. The second thing I was going to say is, since the first of the year, got, inventory of values all together. Been really doing a good job of looking at it every morning. Trying to study up on the calendar, and that kind of leads to my first question. How many personal giving, receiving, I look at my list that I put together, there's 5 for one, there's 8 for another. Is there a magic number that I should be sort of, focusing on? And I read through them a couple of times. I'm they might be able to be condensed a bit. So just curious, when it comes to personal experiential giving, receiving values, and what I'm studying each day. Because yeah, I just want to do it
At
right.
least three. I use at least three.
At least,
So
yeah.
yeah, I give a minimum of three. And so it could be as many as I have there. You know, the human mind doesn't have the capacity in the forefront to handle more than 3 to 5 things. So I want to make sure I'm utilizing the full capacity of my mind. 3 to 5 is a good range, although there are days where I go deeper, but never less than I'm not more interested than interesting if I have one value. That's BS, right? I'm not trying. And this is supposed to be attention plus intention. So minimum of 3 and the maximum that you can handle.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying looking at them each day, and like definitely in 10 days of this, you know, because you've talked about this advice for a while, but I never really got serious with looking at each day. And
Studying.
I've been enjoying it. Yeah,
You
studying it.
you go beyond looking. You're opening up everything. You're seeing the plan, the don't have plan activity, you get paid. I'm telling you, out of any practice that I have beyond practicing ending fear, which is over encompassing and will be a lifetime journey, the most pragmatic tool of student on my calendar has not only changed my personal life dramatically, but my business. Like took me years to get full buy-in, but I have full buy-in. And you know, it's remarkable the productivity, accessibility, and gratitude we have in our business.
Yeah. And when you're studying the calendar in the morning, I mean, when you see white space of available time, are you doing something in particular? Are you making notes on the calendar to do something that's top of mind? Like, I'm just curious what you do on that front.
Yeah, I'm going to my inventory of values and looking for activities that can fill that space that are aligned completely with the inventory of my values. So, you know, maybe I'll do some stretching, or maybe I'll go and clean out the armoire, or maybe I'll, you know, shine shoes, or I don't know. There's whatever my values are, and I kind of just have to do it now list. And some of the things that may not have been prioritized yesterday, I now have free time to do today.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. The second question I just had was, it was about, 30, 45 days ago or so, I started working on this movie treatment regarding my hoverboard story. And, about 75% of the way through a V1 draft of this movie treatment, I read a few articles online about what do you do after you have your movie treatment. I see some trends in terms of what some of the articles are saying, but I just, because you gave me the first step of, producing this movie treatment. And now that I feel like I'm about, 3/4 of the way through it, I just want to start maybe prepping some next steps. So what's your thoughts in terms of once you have that V1? And like, I know there's got to be some edits, and I know I want to get some thoughts from people about it, because what sort of are the next steps that come to mind for you once you have that?
Yeah, who am I going to get to read it and attach to it? So, and when I say attach, it doesn't mean you're giving it to Tom Cruise, but there are going to be attachments for funding, promotion, directing, art, and you want all of those people to see V1 and get engaged and make an investment in you. I was a little bit bummed to see they already made your movie called Back to the Future about the hoverboard, so you're gonna have to alter your script a little bit. Yeah, your next question is who, and start thinking and manifesting the who. And then when you're done with V1, you go down your list of the who and say, hey, I'd love for you to read my first rendition, and hopefully they'll make an investment of some sort into you where or people they know will be attached to it. And the more attachments you have, the greater the frequency and awareness of it, and you'll have more statistical success and you get better feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Awesome. Sounds great. Talk soon. Have a happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Max. Thanks for waiting. Appreciate it. All right, we're getting down to the last two. I know my cleanup hitter's waiting there with the perfect beard. Hey, Mayank, what's going on?
Hi, David. Oh, this is Ben. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Ohio State's the Edmonton Oilers of the NCAA.
Oh, okay. I don't watch college football that much, so.
All right, well then become a Buckeye fan. We need all the help we can get.
Okay, I'm a fan then.
All right, good. How can I help you?
So here's the thing, David. I've been following a lot of people like yourself for the last 6 months plus, and I really love it. Getting to learn so much things I never knew existed, things about myself, that I never knew I was, in a pattern of. Um, and I'm still doing that. But my thing is, sometimes I'm getting overwhelmed with that. I have this thirst for knowledge. I want to sign up for this webinar. I want to sign up for you. I want to listen to Bob Proctor tomorrow, 45 minutes. I want to listen to Mary Morrissey on Saturday. And uh, so, where do I draw the line? How
Yeah,
much?
so yeah, very common mistake. So draw the line on the bottom. People. So for me, I do research every day. I do research every day. And I have two, when I'm not in an adaptable routine, when things are going my way as planned, I have a certain amount of time in the morning and a certain amount of time at night that I give to research every day. And that's it. So it's a minimum amount of time, and it's integrated into being a student in my calendar. So I wake up, meditate for 20 minutes, I get ready, I work out for an hour, I then have research time, then I have family time the same way. Every single day, 7 days a week. If that's 10 minutes for you, then pick and choose who you want to give your 10 minutes to. Dave Meltzer, Bob Proctor, Mary Morrissey. Thank you, by the way, for including me in that neighborhood, because those are two friends, but moreover heroes and mentors and in World's Greatest Motivators, the TV show with me. But you're only just confusing yourself. You have a scheduling problem. That's all. So go back, re-engineer, your minimum amount of time a day, have it be part of your routine, and pick and choose who you want to listen to for that day, and you'll be fine.
So, yeah, I mean, even 1 hour a day is a lot, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's a lot. So 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day is with more than 10 hours on a Saturday, 7 days a week. If you're picking somebody to listen to a minimum of 10 minutes, you'll be fine. You'll see, you'll get exponential growth. But, don't look at what you're missing. Don't create void short. There's a million people I'd like to do research on. I just do by time. I operate from the bottom level and say, every single day, I'm going to get a minimum of this much time to do my research.
okay.
Okay.
But there's nothing wrong in trying to learn more, right? I mean, and it's not like
There's everything right about it. Yeah, that's what life's about. Life's about lessons. Keep on learning the lessons. It'll reduce the pain. Yes.
and it's not like one is better than the other, right? I mean, everybody's bringing something to the table, which I really like.
Remember, you're going to give meaning to everything you learn. You give meaning to everything you see. So, regardless whether it's me, Bob, Mary, we all have very similar things we teach, and then we have different ways of teaching things as well. So it's just going to mean something different to you, but you got to constantly search for that light, love, and lessons, and pick the people that resonate, or that you have the same frequency to, that resonates with you. And those, to me, those are no doubt, if you like those people, you would like me, because that's who I learned from.
Okay.
That's who I study still. So good.
Okay. Well, that's it for today, David. Thank you very
Thank
much
you. All right. From Canada, Raj is probably up there in Canada. Canada now is like the luxury apartment sitting above the meth house.
Absolutely.
Right? I heard in Canada, they're like, yeah, we'll build a wall and pay for it. Just keep them out of here.
We'll let you in if you ever want to come visit.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna hold you to that.
There's plenty of room, all right?
Canada's looking damn good right now to me. But anyway, all right, it's my birthday. My wife has the dog barking. You got the last question. What's going on?
I'll try and be quick. First, happy birthday. Cheers. Go Ohio.
Yes.
And then also just want to give a quick shout out, if I can, to Colleen and you for hooking me up with Max. I'm going to be chatting with him this week about websites and all that. So thank you both for that. I wanted to ask you a question. Have you ever missed out on an opportunity as far as investments and then kind of kicked yourself for the years or so afterwards? And how, I know you talk about ego-based trading, but how do you get over something like that?
Yeah, well, first of all, many, 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 many times, just not recently anymore, because I have learned that you're better off literally missing out, because I know for everyone I missed out on, I screwed up on 9 other ones. So I'm going to miss a ton, but there's an infinite number of opportunities. And so, I'll give you a few examples. Just, I knew Penn Gaming, for example, when the stock market crashed this time around, I knew the gaming industry would it got shellacked, and I knew, I could throw, as much as 900 grand at a $9 stock, and when it hits $90, I could have done really well. But I don't see it that I missed out on it. I didn't see Amazon or Tesla. I told my wife told me, and I told her we should invest, real early on in Bitcoin. If I'm going to chase everything I could have, should have, would have, it doesn't matter, because I'm looking to see what I did do and where I'm at, and if I'm sticking to my system, because I always get in trouble when I get outside trying to guess those type of things. I'm telling you, for every one that I miss out on, I would have screwed up 9. So I'm better off doing what I know and taking the approach that I have, whatever yours is. But don't ever, if you start looking at what's missing, what you could have, should have done, you're going to get more of what's missing and what you could have, should have done. If you stick to what you're learning and growing, you'll learn and grow. And that's really the goal.
Okay. I'll try and keep that in mind next time I blow something, because it seems like it's going to happen a lot. So
yeah, Will. There's too many opportunities. And look, and everyone doesn't go through the exact math. Like I say, I missed out. I'm like, yeah, but by the time I would have sold that house and paid taxes and upgraded it, and the amount of time I could have made, just doing what I do to make money, I could have made 10 times as much as I would have on that house. So we always kind of discount out, opportunities. So stay steady. Don't ever look at what's missing or what mistakes that way. They're going to happen the rest of your life.
Okay. Appreciate you, Dave. Appreciate the group. And don't be afraid to eat the whole cake.
I won't. And go Buckeyes, everyone. Please collect the consciousness. We need all the help. 9-point underdogs. This is going to be a big upset. Thank you.
Hey, Fields for the win. They're going to go by 10. That's what I put my bet on.
All right. We got another perfect, everyone. You could say, my light is dissipating. I love you all. Thank you for the best birthday session ever. I will see you tomorrow or on Friday, negotiation training. If you need anything, david@dmeltzer.com or search.dmeltzer.com for some answers. Thanks, Raj. I appreciate you.
Cheers, buddy. Take care.
Thank you. Happy. You guys made my day. Thank you so much. As you know, be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. I better be careful. We got the room there. People be walking by. Anyway, thank you for the best birthday ever. Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.